Does my nose look snatched? Oh, baby. TikTok made me do it. Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a little trying out TikTok makeup trends. TikTok is such a good place to really discover new makeup hacks, things like that. On the flip side though, there are some just horrible makeup hacks that are just so gimmicky and don't actually work. That being said, I went through my TikTok, saved a couple of videos, and I haven't tried a lot of these techniques, so I thought we could try them out live on camera. I can share with you guys my thoughts and if it's worth it, if you guys should do it. So let's go to TikTok. Now, before we hop into the video, I did want to thank today's video sponsor, Squarespace. You guys know I'm obsessed with Squarespace. I talk about it all the time. Squarespace really is an all-in-one platform that helps you build your online presence and helps you run your business. You can head to squarespace.com/JaclynForbes and get 10% off your first purchase, but we'll chat more on that later. Let's hop back to the video. Okay, so first off, this is one of the most viral makeup videos.
If you wear makeup, watch. Change your whole routine and try this instead. Moisturize first. Then after moisturizing, take some translucent powder. I usually use the Fit Me one, and I just lightly dab it all over my face, not too much. Then take some setting spray. It could be any setting spray. I usually use the NYX one. After the setting spray, take a primer and just put your primer. Also, wait for the setting spray to dry first. Then just put on your foundation and just see what happens.
Okay, so we're gonna do setting powder before anything else, and that feels so wrong. You guys know I like more of a dewy natural finish. So starting with powder just seems a little questionable. I think the whole technique is supposed to be that it makes you look extra poreless and extra smooth. But also, I do wanna give a shout out. I'm pretty sure Jaclyn was the one who really popularized that makeup trend. I feel like a lot of people are crediting that TikTok person, but I feel like Jackie's been doing that for years on her channel, or at least a variation of this. But anyways, I have the Born This Way setting powder here. The key is that you want to be using a translucent setting powder from what I've heard. So I already have moisturizer on my skin. I feel like I see everyone do this with a beauty blender instead of a brush. Oh, this feels so horribly wrong. So I guess I kind of understand the concept that you physically want to use this powder to kind of like fill in any texture. I feel like if you're someone that has really dry skin, this is not going to be the move and only cling to your dry patches. But if you are someone that has more oily and maybe more porous skin, then I can kind of, I guess, get the appeal. I don't know if I'm going to like this though. The thing is, on TikTok, I see everyone reacting to this and trying this out, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's a game changer. So we're going to try this today. I feel like the nose is really gonna be the spot where I notice things. Okay. I mean, to be fair, it does kind of help like blur out the skin. Almost if you're putting on like a blur smoothing poreless primer, you know how it kind of just helps the illusion a bit better? I mean, skin doesn't feel nearly as awful as I thought it would. Okay, next up is setting spray. I'm gonna do the Fenty Beauty one here. The mist on this spray is literally so fine and so good. So I think this is supposed to help melt all the powder. I still see little chunks of it though. This better be worth it. I feel like this is already kind of unnecessary. Okay, next up, they recommended to go back in with primer. I have another Fenty Beauty product here. This is the Hydrating Primer. Am I supposed to be using like a blurring primer? There was too many unclear instructions. The thing that sucks about doing this makeup trend is that if this hack doesn't work good, then the rest of my makeup without fail is going to look awful because my base is gonna be awful. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it does kind of feel like a little pasty and flowery. Trying to stay positive, I don't like it already. Okay, so I guess like we're done. We're ready for foundation now. I don't think that really did anything. And if anything, just putting the primer back on melts and moves everything. So maybe it's just not for me and my skin type. Okay. I do want to move on to foundation next, so that way I can see how it sits on, but there was another TikTok hack that I found. I think it was about foundation and concealer.
Do you have a face full of acne and you just can't seem to figure out how to cover it up? The NARS Matte Concealer and a concealer brush. Now watch this. Take your concealer brush with the concealer and cover up all the acne. Now, this might just be the most important part. Once you have the concealer on, don't touch it, don't blend it, leave it alone for 2 minutes, and then apply your foundation. And here's the final look. Oh, I'm sorry. What? What acne?
Okay, so I actually really like the concept of this hack, and it's something that I used to do. If you guys don't know, I actually used to struggle with acne a ton, especially more in my teenage years. My skin is 10 times better right now, luckily, and I feel very lucky about that. But that type of coverage kind of concealer hack is something that I would do all the time. Not as extreme as she kind of did it, how she kind of like didn't blend out the edges. But we're gonna try it today because I have a little bit of leftover acne kind of like scarring from some breakouts that I had a few weeks ago. So I wanna see how the coverage kind of works and if that technique holds up. And it's interesting because I always kind of go back and forth between doing concealer first before foundation or the other way around, but I like the whole idea. So I have, it's not the NARS Pot Matte Concealer, but this is the creamy concealer. And this is what I used to swear by back when I had raging pimples. So we're gonna do the same kind of thing, pop it on the areas that we want the coverage. So we're just gonna let that sit and marinate for a couple of minutes. I have a lot of faith in this technique. I think this one's gonna work. I will say, I feel like you definitely wanna be going in with at least like a medium coverage foundation, because if you're not gonna be blending it out and diffusing it, it could be a little bit noticeable, but we'll see. Okay, I actually have another TikTok concealer hack here, and this one I feel like has been doing its rounds the last couple of weeks. And this is more about intentionally placing the concealer on your face to help uplift and give you, I guess a bit more of a facelift. So let's watch this video.
I'm gonna show you this life-changing facelift concealer hack. This is how I used to do my concealer, triangle under the eye. It's a very bright, very dramatic concealer everywhere. With this technique, you strategically place it on the inner and outer corner of the eye going upwards, and this will lift the face. If you have dark circles, just use a color corrector before your concealer. This is literally a facelift without the surgery.
Okay, awesome. I love that technique. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna go in with my concealer. So I'm gonna pop this on the inner corner. I also just like how I feel like a lot of the makeup trends are kind of steering away from just super full coverage everywhere and using so much product. I feel like it makes so much more sense to be just intentional with the placement, and then your skin ultimately will look a lot better. And then this is going there. Now I used a slightly pinkier concealer for this part because I find that to be a bit more brightening on my skin tone. Whereas for the acne coverage ones, I use more of a yellow based one because that's gonna help cancel out the redness of the discoloration. So I'm gonna take a fluffy brush here and I'm gonna start to blend and diffuse that out. I think realistically too with concealer, typically a lot of people just have darkness in that first like socket, like the pocket there. And yeah, I feel like we all got so used to that one size fits all giant like triangle technique, which definitely works, but a lot of people really don't need that much product. And I definitely find doing the concealer up there is so flattering on the eye. Especially if you're gonna be doing more of like a winged liner look, it just keeps the edges nice and clean as well. Can you guys see a difference already? I mean, I definitely feel like this is much more snatched. Okay, I'm really loving that technique. I feel like it's just more of a dramatic and more intentional concealer application. I like it, I'm into that. Okay, now I feel like we wanna do foundation and kind of deal with these spots before these get too dry. I think there was another video that I saved that was a foundation hack. Let me find that.
Your favorite foundation doesn't have enough coverage? I'm gonna show you how to fix that. What you're gonna wanna do is take a few pumps of your foundation on a palette or the back of your hand, then take a loose, transparent or translucent powder, nothing colored. Mix it together with a brush, spatula, whatever you have, and then put it on your face and look how much more coverage there is. I guarantee you this one works.
Interesting, I've literally never heard that hack before. Okay, let's try it out. We got lots of coverage today, baby. I'm gonna go in with Makeup Forever Ultra HD. This is normally my preferred filming foundation. I would say this is pretty medium coverage, but let's make it full coverage, you know? So I'm gonna do a few pumps of that on the back of my hand. Now back in with more translucent powder, which this is just a lot of powder happening right now. This will also put our primer technique to the test. So this doesn't feel good already. Ugh, feels like I'm just making a thick paste. I have hope though. I mean, this seems like it would work. It's literally thickening up the product. So, okay, so I'm gonna start on the center of my face. I always like to apply foundation from the center out, just because I think the most coverage should be in the center. Now I'm gonna go in with this beauty blender. I feel like I've actually gotten used to the feeling of like the primer and the powder layer that we did. And I'm just gonna stamp this all over and over those areas of discoloration. Oh no, did I leave it on for too long? You can kind of see the concealer we did underneath. I mean, this is definitely working. My foundation definitely is a lot more full coverage right now. I guess it's kind of like a good hack if you're in a pinch and you don't have as full coverage. But the thing is, I feel like if I just want more coverage, I'll just go in with more concealer or double up with another layer of foundation. I feel like I wouldn't want to disrupt the actual like formula of the foundation by mixing a powder into it. So we'll see how this wears and how it moves. I don't know if I'm completely crazy about doing the concealer underneath first. Like, I can definitely say that I already don't like the way that my skin looks. Like, it looks way cakier than I would normally ever apply. And I honestly think if anything, LOL, this is truly so ironic, I think my pores actually look worse. Now, since we're trying so many techniques, whose fault is it? Is it the first layer of powder and primer we did? Was it the foundation we just mixed together? Oh, I just don't like this already. I also feel like I need more concealer under my eyes anyways. I feel like that just kind of blended away all the work we did. So I'm gonna go back in with a similar technique of just applying on the inner corner and outer corner, and I'm just gonna blend that out again. Yeah, guys, this does not look great, I have to be honest. I will though give credit where credit is due. I have to say, I think that concealer technique of leaving it on is a good way to kind of cover up more active blemishes or discoloration. And I do like the concealer placement technique. I think that's something that I will continue to do. But honestly, the foundation is just too gross and too thick right now. And that primer layer was just not for my skin type at all. And I feel like since that is literally the foundation and the base of the makeup, I'm looking a little not ideal right now. Okay, TikTok, what else do you have for me?
Using self-tanner and a fluffy brush, I go ahead and contour my face just like I normally would if I were using makeup. I chisel out all the areas I want a little bit more definition and just to look a little bit more tan. I even contour my nose because we all know I would love for it to look naturally snatched. I sleep it off, next morning wash my face, and I put moisturizer on, and this is basically it.
Okay, this is actually a really good hack to come from TikTok. I feel like it's so popular now, and that's the idea of contouring with self-tan. I actually posted a video about this like a few weeks ago maybe. I'll have it linked up above. But this is actually such a good technique. I've been doing it for literally years, and now everyone's talking about it on TikTok too, which is good because I don't think a lot of people knew about it before, and it is a game-changing technique, especially if you use self-tanner anyways, versus just putting it all over your face. You can basically get like semi-permanent makeup. So I would definitely recommend doing self-tan contour if you like self-tan. Like I said, I'll link my video up above. There are specific techniques and definitely some rules I like to follow when I do it to get the best results. So if you want to follow along with that, you can definitely check that out. I should have done that last night so that way I was like freshly self-tan snatched, but I didn't do that. But I did want to give a shout out to that trend on TikTok because it is fire and I absolutely love it. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead, add some bronzer, blush, and get you guys up to speed. The next hack that I want to do is a nose contour. Okay, I just did some brush. I just did some blush and some bronzer. I think we're ready for the nose contour. Let's watch the TikTok.
So I've had lots of requests on how to nose contour. A common technique you'll see is with 2 lines of contour down the nose and a highlight. Visually, I feel like it actually brings more attention to the nose. It can look weird without studio lighting. Analyzing my face here, I want you to notice the shadow on my nose. By placing a light concealer here to counteract the darkness, you can slim the nose without adding extra shadow to the face. Mattify the nose using powder. Next, just dust a light amount of bronzer. To add dimension, place a bit of highlight. This is such a soft and wearable way to slim the nose.
Okay, I totally love this technique. I completely agree. I think sometimes like the 2 little nose contour with the highlight can just look a little bizarre, and it takes this very specific natural nose shape to be able to like pull it off / make sense. So I like it. I think this is a very good technique, and I think especially for my nose shape, I think it'll look good. So the whole technique is to highlight and lighten out these shadows. I'm someone who has quite a wide nose bridge, and I feel like I kind of subconsciously do this, and it works so good. So I'm going to take a lighter loose powder that has a little bit of pigment, and we're just basically going to erase that shadow, and this should naturally pinch in my nose a little bit. I feel like this is the reverse contour technique. Instead of adding darker colors to add shadow, we're placing lighter color to define the highlights stronger. Well, while we're here, we're just gonna reinforce the concealer highlighting technique that we tried. Might as well, right? Okay, we're gonna dust this away like the TikTok said. Oh yeah, that definitely did lighten up those shadows. We're gonna add a little bit of bronzer on the nose. Ew. Oh, I don't think this looks good on my nose anymore. I've changed my mind. Uh-oh. How did they do that? My nose looks like it's crooked now. Ah! Edit undo, edit undo. I'm just gonna buff away, buff away. Okay, so maybe this isn't the right contouring technique for my nose. Since I have a very undefined nose, I don't have very like defined nostrils or like a defined like tip or anything. This is just making my nose look really weird actually. Oh my God, this looks actually horrible right now. Okay, I'm just completely forgetting about that nose contour video, and I'm just gonna try to repair this somehow. I always think the most important part of nose contour is actually the unibrow contour. Okay, so conclusion, I understand how that contouring technique actually would work great for some people's noses. Doesn't work good on my face though. That was 25 minutes of my life that I will never get back. Moving on. Okay, so these are the type of like TikTok makeup hack videos that I feel like just honestly aren't that useful. Sure, it looks great. This girl's obviously gorgeous and the size of the fork fits great on her nose, but the reality is every fork's a different size, every nose is a different size. You can't really just put like a template or like an outline like that on. Those I just think honestly don't make sense. So we're not gonna try that one out. And especially, we've got a lot of things going on my nose right now. We're just not. Okay, moving on.
Bitch, I got it out the muscle. You wanna fight on tussle? I'm talking about
Okay, this video I love the idea of. I love feathered brows and I normally use a brow gel to get that effect. I've actually never used the soap brows technique though. But that's like an old Hollywood makeup hack, like back in like I think the 60s, was that when it got popularized? Could be wrong, don't quote me on that. But when eyebrow gel wasn't as popular or readily available, soap was the answer to everyone's brows. So I'm gonna go grab a bar of soap. I think you have to have like a clear glycerin based soap. I don't know if I have that, but we're gonna try to make do and see what I have. Okay, so I just grabbed this piece of soap. It's a Lush Sexy Peel. It smells so good. I feel like it's not like clear soapy-y enough, but we'll see. So I'm just gonna take some setting spray. I'm gonna spray that into the product. Now I'm gonna get a spoolie. I think I'm gonna really like this actually. Okay, product is in the spoolie. My question is, how does the soap hold it? So I'm going to go through. This soap smells lovely. I don't know what I'm doing. I think maybe this is just the wrong type of soap. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. This gives you, yeah, that super feathered look. My question is this gonna hold better than a brow gel? So I guess the trick, you want the formula, like you don't want it to be too runny, too much water or setting spray. It's a really dry, like pasty soap texture I got going on right now. Okay, this is honestly kind of fire. Let me zoom you in for a second. Can you guys see that? I'm sure you can see like the layers and layers of makeup all in my pores as well. So can't win them all. Wow, I don't know why I haven't tried this sooner. This is so unreal. Now my eyebrows also just smell lemony and so incredible. TikTok, that was a good one. I'll give it to you. Now I'm just gonna go in with the Urban Decay Brow Blade. This one is in Cool Cookie. And this has a really cool fine tip little marker end, which I feel like will be perfect for filling in those little hairs. Oh, I forgot to highlight my nose. We forgot to put a little dollop on the end. Boop. Ew, I don't like it. We're just chalking the nose up to bad. Does not look good. Eyebrows, I'm absolutely obsessed with. That was a major success. Let's see what else is there.
And this is how you create the perfect wing liner. Step 1, add some translucent powder. Step 2, grab some brown powder. Follow the bottom waterline to create the tail of the liner.
Step 3, now that you practice and you have the map for the liner, you want to go ahead and grab your liquid eyeliner and start tracing it over the brown liner.
Ooh, okay, I totally like this. Again, I feel like I kind of do this technique already. I normally always do like a shadow liner first, and that kind of helps the liquid liner fade out and have a bit more of like a diffused look. So let me just do a little base of a little something for eyeshadow, and then we'll hop into the liner. Okay, pause. I do have to report. So I was putting highlighter on my brow bone, and where the soap is on my skin, it just completely clung to all of the shimmer, and now my eyebrows look horrible. Okay, I kind of botched those up. Oopsies. Okay, so now we're gonna start off with that eyeliner technique. So I'm gonna go in with a dark matte eyeshadow, and on an angled brush, I'm just gonna start to create that wing shape with this first. It's also just 10 times easier to clean up and fix any mistakes if your wings aren't balanced. Yeah, it's just a lot easier than going in right with the liquid. So once you kind of have the shape, I'm gonna take that angled brush and just start to smudge it out and smoke it out. And now I kind of already did this earlier, but we can go back in and bake a little bit more just to get that edge super snatched, to make sure it's nice and blended. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the liquid liner. I just have the Stila felt tip liner here, and I need to get real close to my mirror to do this properly. What I normally like to do is go in with that angled brush and then also gently blend out that liquid liner as well. Okay, have to say, I think the liner came out really good. That technique also is just good, like I like it. It makes so much sense. Okay, now that the liner's done, we're gonna remove the third layer of powder we've put there. Okay, moving on. Okay, so this is a mascara hack. Now one, this girl has amazing lashes, so I don't I don't really have that much hope that my lashes are gonna look nearly as incredible, but there definitely is a good technique to it. Like, that makes sense. You're gonna basically just set the eyelashes when they're wet with mascara and set them upwards and give your eyelashes a directional blow dry, similarly to as you would do your hair. So let me go get my blow dryer and let's cross our fingers and hope this works. Okay, so I'm still gonna curl my eyelashes first, and I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Perversion Waterproof Mascara. Now, I'm gonna preface, I do have very, very short and downward facing lashes, so hopefully this will curl them upwards. Now, I know it used to be like a huge trend as well to blow dry your eyelash curler to get it kind of hot. That just seems like there's so much room for error / I will burn my eyeball, so we are not even gonna attempt that. Okay, mascara is on the one eye. Now on the cool temperature, let's go to town. Ugh. That is not comfortable. And just as I suspected, they look the same. Okay, I don't think that one's worth it. I guess maybe if you just have like long and luscious lashes, then it will make it look better or make it a bit more, I don't know, upturned, but I feel like my eyelashes sometimes are just like a lost cause. And if anything, that's just gonna make me cry and ruin my makeup even more. As Randy Jackson from American Idol would say, it's a no for me, dog. I do have very watery / sensitive eyes, so maybe I'm just, again, a bad candidate for it, but I just think that's not it. Like, I feel like I'm putting in all this effort and my makeup is looking literally exactly the same, if not worse than normal. Let's see what else TikTok has to offer. Okay, this looks totally promising. You guys know I love doing faux freckles. I normally just use, I have this little Freck product here, which you can just dot on fake freckles. But this one, I'm open to it. Let's give it a whirl. Got the setting spray here, all-nighter. Got Hoola bronzer here. So I'm gonna spray this into the cap. This is going to make a mess. I'm gonna scrape some of this bronzer. So now I have like a brown liquid in the cap. And this is basically like the splatter technique. So I'm just going to do anything? It's running down my hand. Okay, this is literally just making a mess everywhere. Oh my gosh, I feel like this video is gonna be so negative. I'm like, I hate all of these techniques. These are just not, they're not working for me. She made it look so easy in the video. Oh, there we go, we got some. Oh, okay. Okay. So we are definitely getting some like freckleness. I have it running down my hand though. It's very messy, I will say, but it is giving me kind of like those natural, very natural looking freckles. The thing is, I feel like I don't have that much control. I honestly don't think it's the worst. But the reality is, if I could just go in with like a product like Freck, where I get 10 times more control and it's less messy, I just feel like I would always opt to do this instead. Look at how easy that is. I mean, I don't hate it. It definitely is a very natural look. Maybe I just need a bit more practice with it. In theory though, I don't hate that idea. I feel like it came out better on the one side. Okay, you know what? Not bad. Final review is not bad. Okay, my lips are screaming for help. They feel so dry and crusty right now. Let's move on to lips. Okay, that looked fire. I could definitely use some plumping on the lips right now. So we're gonna start with that Lush lip scrub. I actually swear by this. This one has peppermint inside, which helps stimulate the lips. And then, I mean, when you're physically exfoliating them, that will naturally make them puff up a little bit. Now, if I'm completely honest, I would normally never do a lip scrub when I already have makeup on. I would do it like before I got in the shower or something. Okay. I mean, the lips are already looking 10 million times better. Now we're gonna go in with some plumping lip gloss. Personally, I would probably just do a lip balm right away. I feel like this is gonna maybe tingle a little too much. I just got the collagen boosting lip bath from Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so as we let that plumper do its thing, there's actually another TikTok lip video that I wanna watch.
The best lip combo ever. The Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in the shade Super Size Me with the Maybelline matte lipstick in the shade 540. Just do yourself a favor and go get it.
Okay, so I have the Charlotte Tilbury pencil in Super Size Me here. Now, should I blot off a little bit of this? I mean, this is definitely tingling extra more than normal. I would definitely just normally go in with a Laneige lip mask or just whatever like Bite Agave lip mask I'm using. Doing a plumper right after a lip scrub is a little double whammy, like it's very intense. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the lip liner now. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've actually, oh, I've used this once before, I did lie. Oh my God, my lips are actually tingling. Okay, so I'm just gonna line my lips around the perimeter. Whoa, I really like this color actually. Why do I not use this more? Okay, and then in the video, the girl also put like a line down the middle, which I never do. And then she went in with a really light nude lipstick on top. Whew, my lips look a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie, they're still kind of tingling. Should I put more on? What the heck? Okay, so that was pretty much all of the viral TikTok hacks that I think I could apply on my face at one time. But I am gonna go back in with the Fenty Beauty spray. I feel like I just need to saturate my face in a liquid product because I have so much powder on my face. It's a little much. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you guys in, that way you can see the final look. Okay, so here is the final makeup. I hope it's translating on camera how cakey it is in real life, but definitely dousing it with a bunch of setting spray at the end helped a bit. Like overall, this is obviously a completely wearable look, like I could go outside. I don't think I look like a complete clown or anything like that. The lips are definitely a little overboard, but overall I think it's totally like fine. It's not anything completely crazy. But that being said, I think a lot of these techniques, they have a purpose, and I think some of them might be better applied if you're doing a stage makeup or something like theater, or it's a hot day, a long day, or you're gonna be on camera under studio lights. Like I think a lot of the makeup techniques don't necessarily translate for an everyday wearable look. So as long as you know that and you tailor the techniques depending on, you know, where you're wearing the makeup to, I think that's something to be mindful of. But yeah, overall, I mean, not a complete win, not a complete fail. I think there's definitely some things that I will take away and use, but I just maybe won't do it all at once. Now, before I let you go, I did want to chat to you guys a little bit more about Squarespace. You guys know I love Squarespace. I talk about it all the time. It's what I use to run my personal website. Now, what I really love about Squarespace is that it is really designed for any purpose. There's so many different template designs that support all different major content types, whether you're doing pages, galleries, blogs, commerce, aka merch, which I keep on hinting about and I'm getting really excited about, but just stay tuned. But really, using Squarespace is as easy as it gets. You know, before I decided to make a website on Squarespace, I was really truly intimidated for a really long time because I have no background in making a website or coding or graphic design or any of that stuff. But really with Squarespace, you don't have to worry. They have all those templates, they do the domains. The interface is so intuitive and it's so user-friendly. So I promise if I can go on there and I can make edits and add new pages, then you can do it too. It's not rocket science. So if you've been thinking about it, just do it. Make a website with Squarespace. You can head to squarespace.com/JaclynForbes and get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. So definitely check that out. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's any TikTok or viral makeup hacks that you've learned that you like, and if I should try them out, let me know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys subscribe, like the video, follow, comment, do all the things, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.